the supply fresh, you know.
You washed baby clothes every single day?
By hand.
Gosh, it was a lot of work.
And hang them up out on the line. Well, I had taken them out to hang them up. And Barbara had never been able to move at all, you know.
Yes.
The baby just lays there and plays. And I came in, I'd left her on the bed. I came in and she was gone. And I just panicked. And she had slid off that bed and had gotten so she was under the part of the bedspread that hangs down.
Yes.
So she was, look, I didn't see her.
Right.
And then finally she cried a little bit. And I heard her, you know.
Yeah, right.
And found her under the bed. I held her and cried. I held her and cried. Looked to see if she was all right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a terrible experience.
Right.
The first one, you're so scared anyway, and you know,
right.
unsure of yourself.
Of course.
But as far as I know, it didn't do any damage.
Yeah, well, no, I'm sure that's true. But when Grandpa Johnson walked downtown, would he then see friends? I mean, was that social at all for him?
Mm-mm. The guys in the store knew him, you know. And people, I suppose, he met on his, well, he was walking, he probably knew. No, his neighbors would come over and visit with him, like in the evening, you know.
Right, yeah.
Would come. But outside of that, no.
So the day that the piece of furniture fell over on him, was he climbing on it?
I didn't understand.
Well, remember the day the piece of furniture fell over on him?
Oh, yeah.
Was he climbing on it?
I think so.
I know you weren't in the room.
No. And you see, after Johnny had his stroke, he still came back to live in his kitchen, in his part. And I made a point to bring him one good meal every day. I dish it up as we, you know, get ready to eat, so it'd be nice and hot. And I bring it into him. And
Mother, how did you have your kitchen set up? In what became the dining room, right?
Yeah.
What did you have to cook on?
A little kerosene stove. At first it was just 2 burners. We bought it for $2 from Clara Ides. I guess it was her grandmother. And
then how did you do dishes? You just had a table with a basin?
With a
And where did you get water?
Carried it from Ides.
From Ides. You didn't have running water. Johnny didn't have running water all those years?
No lights or no water.
How did he take care of his sons? How did they take care of themselves?
Just survived.
You know, when Julia was alive, that house was built. Why didn't they dig a well?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because they must have lived there quite a while.
Well, all the time. That's the only place that they lived.
After they got married, they built that house?
Yeah, Grandma Sunde gave them that house. Bought them. She bought a house in Benson for all 4 kids.
And who were the 4 children?
Albert. He was a professional bum.
Oh, okay. Was he the oldest?
Huh?
Was he the oldest?
Yep. And then Joseph, Joe, he worked in Michigan in the car, making cars.
Okay.
And then I think Julia would be next, and then Tom.
Okay, and Tom's the only one I ever knew, but you told me Dad liked Uncle Joe. His Uncle Joe.
Oh,
Wasn't he the one that would come into town and...
No, Albert.
Oh, Albert.
Because his house that his mother bought for him,
yes,
he rented it out.
Ah.
And he had the bank, it must have been the bankers, save this money. So he always knew he had money here. So ever so often, he'd take a freight to Benson and get that money. Then he stayed with Johnny. But I never knew Albert, never saw him.
But Dad knew him and liked him?
Mildred and Louis.
Uh-huh.
He bought Mildred a dress once, and very generous.
Uh-huh.
That money would be about all gone when he left. He loved to, like Jet said, he'd buy food, and bring down to the house, steaks and just stuff that they never could afford to
right.
buy. But that's what he would do with this money. And he never said goodbye, never said he was leaving.
Uh-huh.
Just one day he went uptown, never came back.
Hopped on a train.
Yeah.
Where did he go? All over the country?
All over. They said his name was in many depots. That
he carved his name?
No, not carve it, but write it, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he carved it. I don't know.
Who knows, yeah.
But Joe Sunde, Judd had told me, about him. He said he was a big, tall guy. And one day I was there alone with Barbara, I suppose, you kids.
Mm-hmm.
And a car pulled up into the yard,
Yeah.
And I was outside, because you kids were playing. And this guy got out of the car. I took one look at him and I said, oh my God, that's got to be Joe Sunde. Never saw a man that tall before in my life. And I walked over to him and put my hand out. I said, you must be Joe.
Uh-huh.
And he jumped up.